How can you make your clients value your services more without you talking about your services more? A prospect called me the other day and he said, a friend of mine told me you are the expert on value selling. So I'd like to know, how much do you charge for a sales training program? And I said, what's your name, please? He said, it's none of your business. What's your company's name? He said, it's none of your business. I'm just calling to know how much you charge for a sales training program. And then I said, listen, every training program I have right now is too expensive for you. And he goes, what do you mean? How can you say something like that? Well, because it's true. And I'm very honest with my clients. I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your company. I don't know anything about the products or services you sell. I don't know anything about your sales team. I don't know anything. How can I guarantee any result without knowing anything about you? So even if I give you my best training program, it may be a waste of time and money if it's not the proper training that you need. He said, well, okay, what do you need to know? Well, first and foremost, I need to know, why do you believe you need a sales training? He said, what do you mean? Yeah, what made you think that the solution to your problem is a sales training? Well, because I believe my sales team is not really well prepared to sell. They could sell much more if they had the proper training. All right. When you say they could sell much more, how much more would that be? He said, I don't know, at least 10% more. Okay, 10% more. How much do you currently sell? He said, well, we sell $65 million a year. All right, you sell $65 million a year. So 10% more will be $6.5 million. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. All right, so you're thinking that maybe a sales training program could help you achieve 10% more, meaning $6.5 million more. Yeah, all right. And besides achieving $6.5 million more in sales, what other benefits do you believe you could have if your sales team would properly trained in sales techniques? I don't know, we could have more satisfied clients, we could have more repeat business, and it would be harder for the competitors to win our clients over. All very good benefits. You're right. What else? I don't know. Probably if my team were more successful, we would have a lower turnover rate. People would stay longer in the company because they would make more money. Another very fair point. All right, then. So you think it is worth it to stop your team for 1 or 2 days to go through a sales training program that can potentially give you $6.5 million more on top of the other benefits you just mentioned? Well, it depends on how much it is. Okay, but do you believe my sales training is more than $6.5 million? No, it's not. So it would be like $20,000, all right? So for $20,000, we would give you a sales training program, let's say for 2 days, right? Immersion of 2 days. And that would be enough for your sales team to sell at least 10% more, meaning $6.5 million. So what do you think? You're going to invest $20,000 to potentially have $6.5 million back and the other benefits you mentioned. Is that, a good deal for you? Does that sound like a good deal? Oh, yeah, but how can you guarantee we're going to achieve 10%? That's a very fair question. We can have like a shared risk agreement to resolve that issue. What is that? He asked. Well, a shared risk agreement is that we have a goal, and if we do not achieve that goal, I'll give you back the $20,000 plus 10% as a penalty for not reaching the goal, right? And on the other hand, there's a bonus if we achieve that goal or surpass that goal. So if we achieve $6.5 million or more on top of the 20,000, it would give me 10% bonus for every dollar we go over the goal. What do you say? He thought for a moment and said, no, let's stay with the 20,000 fixed fee. That would be better for me. All right, then, when would you like to start? And that's how I sold a training program without talking about the training program itself, without talking about the content, without talking about logistics, without talking about me, without talking about anything. I just talked about the client's perception and how he would see the benefits of having a training program. I used a technique or a method called PIB selling: problem, impact, and benefit. So I guided the client to talk about the real problem behind the need, the impact of that problem, in that case, $6.5 million, and the benefits it would have on top of the $6.5 million, other benefits they also value the most. So by following these three letters, PIB, problem, impact, benefit, I was asking questions following the sequence, problem, impact, benefit, and I was able to make the client see the value of my services without talking about my services. If you want to know more about that, you can find this in here, Effective Value Selling. In the book or in the training sessions, you can find everything you need to overcome any kind of price objections and sell much more. Selling value, not price. Talk to you soon.